The Renault Clio is one of Renault's most successful cars. Its clever solutions and different versions, including turbo engines and even a V6, helped this small hatchback conquer the world. The first generation of the Renault Clio was introduced in France in 1990, aiming to be the brand's new compact car. Its name came from a Greek goddess called Clio, the supposed muse of history and creativity. At launch, the Renault Clio offered 4 engines. The first were a 1.2-liter with 49 horsepower and a 1.4-liter with 80 horsepower, both equipped with a carburetor. In 1991, the Clio received a new 1.2-liter engine with 60 horsepower. That same year, Renault introduced the sportier versions of the Clio. The RSI version came with a 1.8-liter engine with multi-point fuel injection, producing 110 horsepower. It could accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 9 seconds, impressive for the early 1990s. The little French car could reach up to 190 kilometers per hour. Above the Clio RSI was the Clio 16S, using the same engine but with 16 valves, boosting power to 137 horsepower. This upgrade allowed it to exceed 208 kilometers per hour and go from 0 to 100 in just 8.3 seconds. Visually, it featured a hood bulge, similar to the Volkswagen GOL GTI, to better accommodate the larger engine. In 1993, Renault introduced the Clio Williams, intended to be the fastest and most powerful Clio. It featured a 2.0-liter 16-valve engine with an impressive 150 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful Clio models ever. With a top speed of 215 kilometers per hour and 0 to 100 in under 8 seconds, the little rocket Clio Williams was nearly unbeatable. The Clio received its first facelift in 1994 with a single-piece front grille and rounder headlights and taillights. A new luxury version, the Clio Baccara, came with leather seats, a more upscale interior, 14-inch aluminum wheels, automatic transmission, and a 1.8-liter engine with 95 horsepower. The second generation of the Renault Clio debuted in 1998 at the Geneva Motor Show in Switzerland. It remained on the European market until around 2005 and in Brazil until 2017, when it was replaced by the Renault Kwid. This Clio featured rounder lines that enhanced its friendly and charming appeal. The engines were upgraded. The 1.2-liter produced 60 horsepower, the 1.4-liter had 80, and the 1.6-liter had 90 horsepower. There was also a 16-valve version with 110 horsepower. 6 months later, the Clio received an unprecedented version with a V6 engine. That's right, a massive V6 mounted where the rear seats used to be. Still a concept. The Clio V6 used a 3.0-liter V6 engine from the Renault Laguna, tuned to deliver 250 horsepower and rear-wheel drive. Wider and more aggressive fenders enhanced the sporty look and aerodynamic profile. Unfortunately, the model was not made for public roads due to the high cost of making it street legal. Still, it competed in Renault Sport trophy races. In 1999, Renault introduced the Clio Sedan, the first and only time for a sedan version. Since sedans based on compact cars weren't very popular in Europe, it was sold in emerging and developing markets. In 2000, the Clio received a sporty version with a 2.0-liter 16-valve engine, producing 172 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful compact cars sold in Europe at the time. The Renault Clio Sport was sold only as a 2-door model, with an aggressive visual package. The V6 version was built in Sweden and followed much of the concept's idea, but with reduced power, now with 230 horsepower instead of 250. The torque reached 30.6 kg/force-meter, a top speed of 235 kilometers per hour, and acceleration from 0 to 100 in 6.4 seconds. In April 2001, the second-generation Clio received its first facelift with larger, more triangular headlights and a more refined interior. In 2002, the Clio V6 was updated with the same changes as the standard model and introduced a new color called World Blue. The updates were also applied to the sedan and other versions. The third generation of the Renault Clio was unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 2005. It now used the Nissan B platform, thanks to the Renault-Nissan partnership. The model grew in size and adopted a friendlier design with new headlights, grille, dashboard, and rear end. The overall body shape resembled the previous generation, but with more sculpted lines. In June 2006, Renault launched a new Clio Sport version with a 2.0-liter engine, delivering 197 horsepower and a top speed of 215 kilometers per hour. In March 2007, the Clio lineup expanded with the Sport Tourer wagon, and the sedan version was discontinued in this generation. A facelift came in mid-2009, bringing larger headlights, new interior trims, and a new identity for the Clio RS. A new version called Clio Gordini was also introduced, using a 2.0-liter, 16-valve engine with 200 horsepower. The fourth generation began sales in 2013 as a 2014 model. The new Clio was significantly larger and took inspiration from the Renault Megane. It was now available only as a 4-door model, but the design made it look like a 3-door, with the rear door handles hidden in the window frame, giving it a cleaner and more aggressive look. The engine lineup introduced 3-cylinder options and a new 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Like the previous generation, the Clio offered a wagon version with the same design and engines. It also came with new sporty versions, such as the GT and RS. In 2019, the 5th generation Clio arrived. The design didn't change much from a Clio 4, but the evolution was visible, especially with C-shaped daytime running LEDs, giving it a more modern and upscale look similar to the larger Megane. In top trims, like the RS line, it featured 17-inch alloy wheels. The interior, now called the Smart Cockpit, saw major updates with better materials and layout. This generation includes hybrid versions with Renault's E-Tech technology and introduces semi-autonomous driving systems.